is how school budgets accounts work, and big corporations are like this too. But we'll talk about it in context of a school. Okay, first you have a budget, which is the amount that the company owes you because they promised you'd have this much in your budget. Hence the negative amount. So there's minus $2,000 in this account for instrument repair for my band. I don't really have that money, but they owe it to me. So, and this is their books, and so to them it's a negative number. They owe $2,000. Now, when I request a purchase order, I'm asking them. I'm actually doing a pre-encumbrance, which is like a wish list. Please reserve some money so I can go buy some stuff. Please, please, please reserve some money in the future so I can do something. I'm just asking for it. Once it is, and we have to, once they've okayed it, they've approved the PO. It's a real life encumbrance now. Okay, so it's like a cashier's check as far as purchase orders, because then I can send that printed out purchase order to somebody, and they will send me product, knowing that once I have a purchase order, that it has been officially encumbered under my account. They're going to pay for it. Once I get the product in, then I send an invoice and tell the business office it's good, it's complete, you can write the check, which they do. And I need to put this because it bothers me. And so I'm going to say budget, pre-encumbrance, encumbrance, issue funds. Okay. In this case, we got $2,000. Let's just go right along with it. Let's say if I want to request a purchase order, look, I need $100 worth of stuff. Now, if you notice, it's a positive number because that's opposite of this, so that's how that works. And I sit there for a while, and that's great. But if you look at this, if you look at the balance, and let's keep looking at running balance. Right here, it's still, bring those column down there. Bring this column down. What's the balance? 1900. Okay, great. Then they approve it. Approve a PO. Okay. I have to take it out of the general journal account or the pre-encumbrance and move it over here. Okay. Had to take it out of there and had to move it here. Things are moving from one account to the next. Let's look at the total. Here you got minus $2,000. What's 100 plus minus 100? 0. What's this in 100? What's the balance? 1900. Okay. Then I get my product in, whatever, it's complete, and with an invoice. I'm gonna put with invoice. Great. It's now I'm not ready for it to encumber the account. I actually want to write the check for it. So they take it out of here because it's not going to be an encumbrance anymore. It's an actual check. I know this is perfectless. It's perfectless, but let's put it in there anyway. 2,000 there, 0 there, balance is 0 here, 100 minus 1900. Now the check has been issued. It's good to go. But do you see? Yes, from the very get-go, my balance was 1900, and we needed to know that. We need to know how much I asked for, how much was okayed, and there's a lot of other POs in the process that are moving from column to column at different times. But we know that I have $1,900 that I can spend now. Okay. But with these, it shows us where it is in the process of getting done. So let's go look at this. And I'm going to make that column a little smaller. Okay, here is a real one. So here's the $2,000. That's the opening entry for instrument repair minus $2,000. There it is. I requested a PO, and it was the very first one that I did that year, or something, I don't know us, 1001. It's $100. There's that positive amount. I got to talk to you about this. The estimated revenue and appropriations is the budget, but this is what the school calls it. But it's really your budget amount. Okay? Let's skip these two for a moment and go to realized revenue and expenditures right here. That's checks. That's checks. That's all it is. They wrote the check. But here's what happens, at least on our program we have here, this general journal and the encumbrance, they've combined those into one column. Well, how do you know which one's which? They'll put a general journal here pre-encumbrance, or they'll put encumbrance, which is encumbrance. So now let's go look. I requested on 10/1 a $100 repair stuff. Positive amount. There it is. On the very same day, and it went in the General Journal, very same day, they approved it. Went up the chain pretty fast that day. Look at there. So they had to take it out of General Journal. There's the negative there. And they had to put it into an encumbrance right there. There's the $100. Now, eventually, about 3 days later, on 10/4, 3/4, I got the repair done and in. And I said, hey, it's good. Send it out. So I sent them an invoice, and here they go. Now, here's what they do. They put a negative $100 in this encumbrance count right here. And then they put $100 in the checking column. There we are. So there was the first positive. Here's the negative, positive, negative, positive. That's how they do it. Let's go look at one to see. Let's get rid of all of these. And let's make it so I don't have all those lines down there. Okay. Let's look at this one. What was my budget for this account? $4,000. Let's put minus $4,000. Okay. We were looking at something 6165. Look here. General Journal. I requested it. Request on 9/25. 6165. Here we go. 6165. Requested PO. And I think it was on what day? 9/25. 9/25. Give you some idea. All right, great. And then 2 days later, they approved it. Approved PO on 9/27. So they had to take it out of here, minus 6165, put it into this column, 6160, make it a positive. Look here. So we had the positive. There's the positive. Here's the negative journal. That was General Journal. General Journal, negative. Great. And then they encumbered it, positive, there. Now, we were looking for the check. When did we write the check? Not one. There's not one. So we haven't done it. Either it was complete, but they didn't give us an invoice, or we had the invoice and we failed to email it to them, or Tarpley's forgot to email it to them, or they messed up the business office. There's a mistake been made anyway, if we've got this stuff. So we need to go find it and fix that. Here's another point before we leave. On our first example, I put in a request for $100 and $125. 2 separate purchase orders. But they paid them on the same check. Look here. 31939. 31939. And here's the OPDF for all of them. So if you'll just put in this, find out how many there are, find that number, check number 31939, and it says there's only 2 of them. So we wrote a check for $225 to Tarpley's. They do that a lot. They'll combine them all in one check best they can. But look here, they're still had to individually take them out of encumbrance and put them into a check, but they send them on the same check number. All right, maybe that'll help, and in the future help remind me of how it works.